Hello everyone, and welcome to my Emmerdale news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. After Belle Dingle, Eden Taylor Draper, informed Tom that she had had enough of his violent, domineering, and coercive behavior, their marriage was ending, Tom began dating Amelia. Poor Amelia is completely seduced by Tom's flimsy appeal, even though Belle could see all too well that he was exploiting her in an attempt to enrage and hurt her. Amelia is a good-hearted and naive person who has been swayed by Tom into thinking that he was the victim in his relationship with Belle. In addition to claiming that Belle has made up all of the accusations of abuse against him, he characterized Belle as physically aggressive and mentally unstable. We soon discovered that Amelia was still in contact with Tom after he disappeared from the town due to fear that Belle's brother Kane, Jeff Hordley, would assault him. Amelia continued to support him even when Belle struck him with an axe in self-defense, sending him to the hospital. Amelia has been urged to see Sense by Chaz, Lucy Pargeter, Amy, Natalie and Jameson, and others, but she is enamored with Tom and thinks he loves her. Although Lydia, Karen Blick, made a strong attempt to reach her, Amelia was able to convince herself that Tom's affections for her were sincere when he skillfully avoided answering her questions. In later episodes, Amelia is overjoyed when Tom sets up a date for the two of them. When they finally get together at the Woolpack, Amelia is overjoyed to have their relationship openly acknowledged. But there's more on Tom's mind than meets the eye. He's putting on a performance, in part, to demonstrate Chaz and the other Dingles that he can carry on doing precisely what he wants in the village. And one thing is certain, even if Amelia believes he loves her, as soon as she becomes unusable to him, she puts herself in grave danger. Tonight on Emmerdale, Arthur went even more crazy as he brags about his sex life and gets exposed. However, he wouldn't acknowledge that he was lying, so chaos ensued in the bar. Carl, meantime, became frightened by Tom's menacing actions and focused on little Isaac. Arthur was attempting to ignore the flirtatious ma-flirty pants game that Laurel and Charles were still playing. Other things, mostly John Sugden, were on his mind. By swooning over his camper van, Arthur has convinced himself that John has a thing for him and is attempting to get into his trousers. That van has had a lot of use. Then Arthur started flirting with April, saying that he and John had had sex in the van's back. She was quite repulsed, and Laurel, who heard everything, was also repulsed. John denied everything when Laurel questioned him right away in front of the Woolpack crowd. Where else? Arthur lost it when he was called a child and told the bar about Laurel's liaison with Charles. Jai did, in fact, hear everything. Jai and Laurel got into an altercation during which he accused her of sleeping with anyone. What's with this overtly sexual Laurel? She hasn't always been like that, has she? She's been acting a little flighty lately. Tom King's mask is really starting to come off. Praise be to God. Tom was up and about, taking Carl to the dentist, despite having an axe in his back a week before. Before long, Tom was displaying a frightening side when he confronted Carl about the missing tablet. The frightened boy confessed that Isaac had it. Tom then began to manipulate Carl by implying that he might go to jail if he stole it. He pretended to be the hero, promising to keep the information a secret, before putting on his charm and offering to buy him a milkshake. Carl was quite perplexed and terrified, but how long before he tells Nicola and Jimmy about Tom's appalling behavior? Then Tom promised Carl he would deal with Isaac whenever he made the decision. All we're saying is that we won't be held accountable if he touches even a hair on that child's head. Moira continued to be concerned about Isaac's surviving sheep. Thankfully, we subsequently learned that she will be all right. They took a stroll around the countryside while Ruby was on duty as a babysitter. Unfortunately, Moira still finds it difficult to recall what transpired yesterday and feels completely out of control. Surprisingly understanding, Ruby later disclosed that today was her mother's cremation. Being friends with these two is quickly becoming a highlight of Emmerdale. It appears that the soap opera also remembered that Moira and Vanessa were formerly close friends. We hope this female solidarity lasts for a long time because we like it. Ella and Liam's relationship is progressing awkwardly, and Chaz had to defend Liam in front of Ella over their yesterday afternoon spent together. After Ella's entrance and the awkwardness that followed, he later apologized in the pub, and it became evident that they are much more at ease and have more in common than Ella and Liam. How much longer before the conclusion of Ella and Liam? Get him with Chaz and move on. It's obvious that their only shared interest is sex. The result of Arthur Thomas's sex lie has been shown on Emmerdale. Arthur attempted to give the impression to his buddies last week that he had more sexual experience by implying that he had slept with John Sugden, who was older. When Laurel discovered the truth and confronted John in front of the entire bar, the newcomer denied ever having slept with someone Arthur's age. In the episode that aired on Monday, October 7th, Arthur was determined to prevent his mother Laurel from having a calm conversation with John in which she would have warned him against abusing young people. Nicola and Arthur had a heart-to-heart conversation in the cafe during which she recalled how happy she had been when he came out and reminded him that he had been truthful about who he is. Arthur admitted, "I never said that I had sex with John. It was April who made the assumption. When my mother started making fun of John, I was humiliated. I just didn't want anyone to think that I was a child." As Arthur acknowledged that nothing at all had transpired with John, Nicola urged him to clarify the situation because it was dangerous to let the rumors grow. "If you really want to make yourself look more mature, apologize to John, for a start," she said. After Arthur visited John, he was grateful that he had come clean about his lying. John advised them to give each other a bit of space going forward. After Nicola called Laurel at the Hyde and revealed Arthur's confession, Laurel went over to John to apologize for their earlier altercation. John assured Laurel, "It's okay, it's pretty much sorted now. He came to see me at work, admitted he'd made it all up and apologized." Upon returning home, Laurel continued to be furious with Arthur and forewarned him that actions have consequences. Will Arthur and Laurel be able to reconcile? With Emmerdale teasing the next steps in Tom and Belle's plot and EastEnders revealing the introduction of a new character, it's been a busy week on Soapland. On Monday night, the casts of all the major shows got together to celebrate at the Inside Soap Awards. But first, they had a lot of fun chatting with Digital Spy on the red carpet. This week, did you miss any major news? We have our usual Sunday roundup of the top stories, so don't worry. This week, Emmerdale kept viewers on the edge of their seats as Tom's retribution appeared to be finally approaching. The villain is on a mission to retrieve his misplaced tablet computer before the cops discover it, since it has unmistakable evidence that he spied on Belle using covert cameras. According to spoilers for next week's episodes, Tom does, in fact, get the tablet back, yay, and proceeds to destroy it right away, believing himself to be alone in the King residence. As he destroys the evidence, Tom is blind to the fact that Jimmy's little son Carl is standing nearby, observing him. But could this work against him along the road? Could Carl tell Nicola, who appears to be doubting Tom already, what he knows? We already know that when Jimmy and Nicola begin to argue over Tom in the upcoming weeks, a chasm will soon develop between them. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.